History is written by the victors, they say. But what about the chapters that were never finished? The stories where the final page was torn out, leaving us with nothing but chilling questions and a silence that echoes through centuries? Today, we pulling back the curtain on some of the most haunting unsolved mysteries that history has ever known. These are the tales that defy explanation, the puzzles that have stumped the greatest minds, and the legends that refuse to die. From entire colonies that vanished into thin air to coded messages from an unknown source, prepare to question everything you thought you knew. Buckle up, because we're about to journey into the unknown. First up, imagine this. It's 1590. You an English governor returning to your new settlement on Roanoke Island, off the coast of modern-day North Carolina. You left over 100 men, women, and children there 3 years ago. But when you arrive, you find nothing. The houses have been dismantled. The people are gone. All of them. There's no sign of a struggle, no bodies, just an eerie silence. The only clue is a single word carved into a post. Croton. Was it a message? A warning? Did they move to the nearby Croton Island? Or did something far more sinister happen? For over 400 years, the fate of the lost colony of Roanoke has remained one of America's oldest and most profound mysteries. Did they integrate with local tribes, attempt a desperate sea journey back to England, or did they fall victim to disease or conflict? We simply don't know. Now let's fast forward to the harsh, frozen wilderness of the Soviet Union in 1959. 9 experienced hikers, all students from the Ural Polytechnical Institute, set out on a challenging expedition in the Ural Mountains. They never returned. When search parties found their campsite, the scene was baffling. Their tent was sliced open from the inside, as if they were frantically trying to escape. The hikers' bodies were found scattered nearly a mile away, some partially undressed despite the sub-zero temperatures. The official investigation was inconclusive, but the details are what make this story truly terrifying. Several of the victims had severe internal injuries, like those from a high-speed car crash, yet showed no external wounds. One was missing her tongue. What could have caused 9 seasoned hikers to flee their shelter in such terror and meet such a bizarre end? Theories range from an avalanche to a secret military weapon test, and even an encounter with a Yeti. The Dyatlov Pass incident remains a chilling testament to the unknown horrors that can lurk in the wilderness. Let's head to the foggy, gaslit streets of Victorian London, 1888. A shadow falls over the Whitechapel district, a shadow that will become a legend. A serial killer, known to the world as Jack the Ripper, begins a reign of terror. His victims are women from the impoverished underbelly of the city, and his methods are brutal and precise, suggesting a chilling knowledge of human anatomy. He taunts the police and the press with mocking letters, some even allegedly accompanied by a human kidney. Scotland Yard launches one of the biggest manhunts in history, interviewing thousands and investigating hundreds of suspects, from doctors and butchers to even a member of the royal family. But the killer is never caught. He simply stops, vanishing back into the fog as mysteriously as he appeared, leaving behind a legacy of fear and a name that is synonymous with the quintessential unsolved crime. Who was he? Why did he stop? Jack the Ripper's identity is a secret that London took to its grave, from the dark alleys of London to the vast, open skies of the Pacific Ocean. In 1937, Amelia Earhart, a pioneering aviator and global icon, embarked on her most ambitious journey yet, to circumnavigate the globe. Alongside her navigator, Fred Noonan, she had completed over 22,000 miles of the trip. But on the final, perilous leg over the Pacific, something went wrong. Her last radio transmissions were filled with static and confusion. She reported being low on fuel and unable to see the tiny island that was her destination. Then, silence. An unprecedented sea and air search was launched, but no trace of Earhart, Noonan, or their plane was ever found. Did they crash and sink into the unfathomable depths of the ocean? Or did they manage to land on an uninhabited island, only to live out their days as castaways? For decades, explorers have searched for answers, but Amelia Earhart's final flight remains one of the greatest aviation mysteries of all time. Now for a mystery that's not about a person, but an entire civilization. Atlantis. The name conjures images of a magnificent, technologically advanced island city that, according to the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, was swallowed by the sea in a single day and night of misfortune. Plato described it as a formidable power located beyond the Pillars of Hercules. But was he recording a historical fact, passed down through generations, or was he crafting a cautionary tale about the hubris of a great nation? For thousands of years, people have searched for this lost city. Some believe it was a real place, perhaps the island of Santorini, which was devastated by a volcanic eruption. Others argue it was purely a myth, a powerful allegory. Whether a real, sunken paradise or an ancient work of fiction, the allure of Atlantis endures, a symbol of all that we have lost to the depths of time and tide. From a lost city, we turn to a lost language, the Voynich manuscript. It's a book, dated to the early 15th century, filled with handwritten text and bizarre illustrations of fantastical plants, astronomical charts, and strange biological diagrams. It looks like a medieval encyclopedia from another world. The problem? No one on Earth can read it. The script, known as Voynichese, doesn't match any known language. For over a century, the world's best cryptographers and linguists, including top codebreakers from World War I and II, have tried to crack its code. All have failed. Is it an elaborate, meaningless hoax designed to fool collectors? Is it the lost language of a forgotten people? Or is it a complex cipher hiding secrets we can only imagine? The Voynich manuscript sits in a Yale University library, an open book that remains completely, maddeningly closed. The 1960s and 70s in Northern California were a time of peace and love, but also of a creeping, nameless dread. This fear had a name, the Zodiac. A serial killer who targeted young couples, he terrorized the Bay Area with a series of brutal, seemingly random attacks. But what set the Zodiac apart was his thirst for fame. He sent a series of taunting letters and ciphers to local newspapers. "This is the Zodiac speaking," they began. He claimed to have killed dozens of victims and included complex coded messages, one of which has never been solved to this day. He even called into a live TV talk show. Despite a massive investigation and a list of over 2,500 potential suspects, no arrests were ever made. The Zodiac killer, who played a deadly game with the police and the public, was never unmasked, leaving a chilling legacy of unsolved codes and unpunished crimes. Finally, we set sail for our last mystery, on the high seas of the Atlantic. In 1872, a brigantine ship named the Mary Celeste was found adrift and deserted. When the crew of a passing vessel boarded her, they found a ghost ship. The ship was in perfectly seaworthy condition. The cargo of industrial alcohol was untouched. The crew's personal belongings were still in their quarters. A meal was seemingly left half-eaten in the captain's cabin. The ship's only lifeboat was missing, suggesting an orderly evacuation. But why? There was no sign of a storm or a struggle. Why would an experienced captain and his crew, along with his wife and young daughter, abandon a perfectly good ship in the middle of the ocean? Theories range from a mutiny to an explosion of alcohol fumes to an attack by a giant squid. But in the end, the fate of the 10 souls aboard the Mary Celeste remains as vast and empty as the ocean on which they vanished. From vanished colonies to silent killers, from lost cities to coded books, these stories remind us that history isn't just a collection of facts. It's a landscape of shadows, filled with questions that may never be answered. They challenge us, haunt us, and fuel our endless curiosity about the world and our place in it. What do you think happened in these cases? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the unknown. If you enjoyed diving into these historical enigmas, please hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you won't miss our next adventure into the world's greatest mysteries. Until next time, stay curious.